good. All right. Obviously, extremely disappointed. But look, I am proud of our guys. I think, look, last week we didn't have a whole lot of fight in us, right? And for whatever reasons, we just didn't. And we had some fight in us this week. Unfortunately, we didn't shoot the ball well this week. I shouldn't say this week. We shot the ball well Thursday, but we didn't from the free throw line. I mean, we were 50% from the free throw line, and we're 34% from the three. But three of the ones we hit were last second shot clock, heaves. And look, I think we had a good game plan. My staff did a good job, and I think we ran the right things. We got good shots all night long. We just didn't knock them down. And again, but these guys are fighting, man. It's disappointing because I know what team was here a couple weeks ago, and I can see pieces of that right now. So I know it's still there. We've just got to find it, and get over that hump. And it's not going to get any easier. We go on the road versus two of the top three teams in the league right now, and but we've got to find a way. That's the job, right? And so, but we scored. I mean, we turned them over 22 times. We scored 23 points off turnovers. We did not do a great job on the offensive glass or defensive glass. But not terrible. We did everything you're supposed to do to win, except for make free throws. And that's a mental thing. We've been talking a lot about that. 4-1. Mental is physical. It's 4-1, and making free throws is part of that. And so we've got to step up and we've got to do that. I think we can get to the free throw line a little bit more. That would help. But that's a team that doesn't. They sit back and it's hard to get fouls, right? And so, but we continue to fight like that. We're going to be okay. Just disappointed because I thought we gave the effort. We didn't necessarily play great, but we gave the effort, and that's half the battle, right? And so, just disappointed.
You talk about those pieces that you still see of that team a couple weeks ago. What are those pieces?
That fight, man, that energy, that enthusiasm, that passion defensively. I think we've been as good as we've been all year defensively. Obviously, we fouled a little bit today, but that comes with the way we defend. We've scored, over 50 points in 2 games on our defense, off of our defense. And now we've got to figure out, and again, like I said, we got good looks in our half-court offense today. But our dead ball offense, when we walk the ball up the floor after dead balls and things like that, has not been good for a couple weeks. And so we've got to do a better job. And I thought that we focused on that yesterday. It was a lot and I thought we got good looks today in our dead ball offense. They just didn't go in. And so we've got to figure that out. But the fight and the energy is there, man. But look, it's a disappointed locker room, obviously. But it's my job to make sure they continue to have that fight, and we find ways to get those shots to go in.
Rich Smith had struggled offensively on Thursday, last game. Today, he's your leading scorer. What does that say about him as coming out here and not putting that performance behind him?
Yeah, no, proud of him, man. Me and him spent a lot of time together yesterday, and I thought he came out with the right mindset. And again, it's not about scoring. I think he just took what they gave him. He also did a great job of finding guys. What a lot of people won't realize is Rich had 2 assists. Where is he at? He had 5 assists. Rich could have had 15 assists tonight if those shots go in. And so I'm more proud of him for finding open guys than just getting points, And so, if we shoot the ball like we did Thursday, we win the game, And so we've just got to figure that out. But it was nice to see Rich bounce back like he did today, and I expected nothing less.
And earlier this season, you said Rich is deserving of more attention. Obviously, his impact on the court, you can see it. Culturally, though, for your team, what's his impact there?
He's a leader, right? That's why him not showing up on Thursday was such a big deal. But I thought he bounced back and he showed that leadership yesterday in practice with how he came to work. I thought he showed it today. We obviously didn't start him today. He didn't deserve to start. But he came out and played his tail off, and he probably deserved to start the second half. But I kind of liked the energy he brought when he came into came off the bench. And so, but look, I think I go back and watch the film tonight, and I'm sure there's a lot of mistakes I made, especially personnel-wise down the stretch. And but, that's it. I expect Rich to look. What he did tonight is what I expect every night from him.
And then Duval, he had a pretty big game tonight, obviously. But one thing he said after the game was that the crowd really made it tough for him. So, do you have any appreciation for them today?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good basketball team, you're asking about appreciation. Oh, for the crowd. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Southern Utah. No, the crowd's been fantastic. They were fantastic Thursday, fantastic today, and I'm super thankful for them. I hope that they see how hard these kids are fighting, and that they keep coming back. Because I know it's tough when you come and give that kind of effort that they gave, and we come out on the wrong end. And so I hope they show back up for Julie next week, and when we come back into town in a couple weeks, that they show back up for us. But I'm super grateful to them, and I know a lot of those kids personally, and so I'll make sure I reach out to them as well and thank them personally.
Next week on the road for both games, how hard is that going to be for your team making those road trips?
Well, yeah, every game's hard, home or away. But obviously 2 of the top 3 teams in the league right now. But hey, what a better way to get it back, is to go beat 2 of the top 3 teams in the league, And so we'll get out. We'll work this week, and it's going to be tough, of course. Travel's tough, but it should have been tough for Utah Tech and Southern Utah. And so we've got to go find a way on the road now to make up for this. And so I'm just disappointed, man, and frustrated because it's a different kind of disappointment, right? It's because the effort was there, just the execution wasn't.
What do you think it's going to take to turn the tide and get a win?
Belief, man. Mark 9:23. And so we talk about it all the time, and I think some of that was down the stretch. I think holding on tight and playing not to lose. And that happens when you get yourself on a little losing streak. Now you start like, we got to lead, and what do we do? And we can't play that way. We got to trust ourselves and trust each other. And we'll talk about that. We'll show some clips of that probably in the film room on Monday. But yes, that belief, man. And we're not trying to please anybody. We have one person we're trying to please, and that's what matters. And so we talk about that all the time, and not to get caught up in that, and just trust it, man. Trust if we keep doing the right things, that things are going to go our way.
I think you had 21 points off turnovers in the first half. The defensive intensity seemed to really be there in that first half.
Yeah, I think it was their second half too. I just think Southern Utah did a much better job of taking care of the ball. It's obviously something they talked about, at halftime. And we forced 16 turnovers in the first half, and that's fantastic. And we didn't do that in the second half. But I don't think that was from a lack of effort. We were still doing the right things. They did a better job. They stopped running offense, right? They centered the ball and started driving us, and it took us, a few minutes. The first 4-minute game to kind of figure that out, but that happens. That's what the game's about. But we figured that out. Really, we did. We went small there at the end because I figured they were going to do that again. We swiped at the ball, and we weren't solid. We didn't chest up like we talk about all the time. We swiped at the ball and gave them that bucket that gave them the lead, and we can't do that. And that's from a veteran player. He knows it. We just got to continue to give that effort, though. If we do that, we're gonna see this thing turn around.
Was here today.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had the opportunity to talk to him, but talk about that.
I have not seen Peyton yet, face to face. We've talked a lot this week. I'm just so proud of him and what he's doing with his life. And, he's so centered in his faith and everything that he does. And he puts that into his family. He puts that into his work. He is what ACU basketball is about. He is what our players are about, and I don't want people to forget that, And he's been there a lot for me lately, in the last couple of weeks. And for him to do the shoes like he did, I think those are fantastic. Those are the best ones we've had, in my opinion. And we're getting some great bids on those. We need some more to come in the next 24 hours before we shut it down. But just super proud of him, and look forward to squeezing his neck and hugging him a little bit, and letting him know how much I appreciate him. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.